Um,
All right.
all right. Yeah, I'm surprised Claudia's not on yet because she had emailed me earlier for the link.
It looks like Lona got us all caught up with our minutes, though.
Yeah. I mean, do we have enough members to approve them?
Good question. Yeah. What do we have? We are a 5-member board, right? 4. Yeah. Guess we need one more.
Four, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear anything from Starley. Did you?
No.
Yeah, usually Starley's pretty good about saying when he can't make a meeting. I wonder if it just slipped his mind. Let me just check my email. No, I don't have anything from Starley.
I'll just write her right now. Claudia. Well, so I guess we'll wait on the meeting minute approval.
Yeah, save him for later in case somebody logs on.
Yeah. As you know, the big part of the agenda today is just getting everyone's comments on the draft plan and then talking about what the next steps are with, getting some more feedback on the plan, taking it to planning and zoning, and then ultimately getting it adopted. Should we, I guess, so Sharon, you did send us some comments just in general. You feel pretty good about where the plan is?
I do. I spent a lot of time with it on Sunday. And the comments, that's why I sent them. I actually sent them yesterday, and then I noticed today that my sending failed, so I sent them again. I had had some opportunities to talk to some people. Some people had approached me at the chamber event the other night. There was a realtor who was talking to me. Another one reached out to me on Facebook in a message thing. So I thought, let me find out what they're thinking of. And so what I was getting from a couple of them who had been contacted by renters was difficulty with housing applications when they were trying to go through sites. And Penrose was one of them, the new building in town. They were saying the application there was convoluted. So I don't know if that was because of looking for the affordable part through the state. So my only thought there was, when we're moving forward, is how do we create something to offer to help people walk them through the application, especially if they're seniors or disabled and, the process is more difficult for them. But that was the only thing I had. I was volunteering this morning with the police chief at COVID test distribution, and we had a person there complaining about Section 8 and for connecting affordable housing again. So I was explaining about what affordable was defined as. But I also had a contact person that I wrote you in there who said that she was getting negativity from people who, if she was going to be using Section 8, they didn't accept it, which tied in with that comment on page 5. So I think personally, I need to be a little bit more aware of the details of that so that I can speak to it better. But it is a concern.
Yeah, I mean, as you read, you're not allowed to not accept Section 8.
Exactly.
But again, as you heard, that doesn't mean that people don't do it. But I think your questions are important. I was hoping Claudia would be on because I was thinking she might know some of the answers. And
I was thinking of somebody that has a 2-family house, for example, or somebody who's buying a 2-family house as an investment. What do they really know about Section 8? Is it this concept that has been around forever that is negative?
Yeah.
Or is it the thought that they're going to have to do all kinds of things and jump through hoops in order to satisfy the application? And since I
Right.
don't know enough about it, I thought this might be an education piece for me.
Yeah, well, and I was thinking based on your comments that maybe we could see if we could somehow get grant funding that would pay landlords to go to a training about utilizing Section 8 vouchers.
Right.
You know, to give them a financial incentive to go to the training and learn about it and learn about what it means, and maybe not necessarily say they have to then, you know,
Well, yeah,
but
yeah.
but just so that, I mean, it would be nice again just to get more landlords aware of what, you know, what is required, what is part of the inspection, and maybe sort of dispel some of the myths around it.
One, there's always those myths. I mean, I think the one person that I heard from said that he would never accept it because he'd be forced to completely change his building. And I thought, I don't know enough about that. And I
Yeah.
said, well, we just need to investigate it further. I mean, if there
Yeah.
are some under the impression that they have to make, a whole lot of changes for AD,
Right.
accessibility and, sprinkler systems, if this is what's in their mind,
Right.
they'll
Right.
have to address that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Even
think
if
that
we did a workshop, but we also had some kind of a pamphlet or an online thing that we could send to people, that they would be more aware of that. And again, because the realtor's talking to me, I found that was interesting that, I don't know that every realtor out there is aware of this, or are they discouraging people because of
realtors are 100% aware that you cannot
Yeah.
turn someone down for having a Section 8 voucher, but
Right.
what they say they are and aren't aware of.
Well, that was the thing. It's the discouragement, you don't want to do that. Let's try this kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
I know. Yeah. So I think
I
that's a
know-
good point, and maybe something that we should address again, because lining up those folks, especially if we can somehow line them up with the vacant units in the 2 and 3 family houses, is a way to create those housing options without building more housing.
Right.
Just utilizing what the housing stock you already have, which is ideal. So I'll draft something around that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think
didn't-
it's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't want to clutter up today with a whole lot of things, but I had these questions and I thought, well, let me just put this out there for, for future.
Yeah.
So, and Jocelyn, you got those, the map that I sent and the spreadsheet
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. So Claudia says she's having computer problems. I know I got a redirect notice. Did you guys when you logged on?
No, this time it went through fine, but it's like my email not sending yesterday. I found 3 that failed and I thought, I have no idea why, but.
Okay. Well, let me just screen share here if I could. And Jeremy, do you have like a list of specific things you saw in the plan, or suggestions or questions?
I got to be honest, I didn't really see anything. I didn't really, I mean, I read through it this afternoon. I didn't really see anything that jumped out at me.
Okay.
Just just the things you had marked in red that we still need to answer some questions on, but.
Okay.
Right.
I had one comment. I was able to read through this.
Yeah.
Getting to the conservation land section.
Yep.
I was I think my first thought in reading it was understanding how this fits in and is it, I guess to back up, I've had experiences where, conservation interests have been at odds with affordable housing interests, in which there's been conflict. And I'm not sure, this has this map in here, which which I think is a little outdated. Jeremy, I don't know if we can share a more updated protected
You talking
lands
about
map.
the zoning map?
The open space map.
Oh, the open space map.
Page
Yeah,
16. Yeah.
Page 16.
And we don't have Torrington Water Company anymore either. The land has been sold, right? Or the company has been sold. It's
Yeah,
now,
I can get you,
Brian?
yeah, he's right. I can get you a new open space map. We had a newer one done.
Yeah, that would be great. This one I actually just got off the platform that the COG has for
Yeah,
mapping.
Nate, you wanna touch base with Dave? And yeah,
Yeah, I can get you an update. And I see in the description here, you wanted to include lands that excluded the Torrington Water Company lands anyway.
right.
Just because.
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
not
I
protected.
guess I was just, I think your question is a good one and your comment is a good one. What I meant to do here was just say, look, this much, like, this, 23% of your land area is protected. Don't worry about that. We're not going to build housing there.
Mhm.
Just so people understand
And-
generally, like, it's not like 100% of your land area is buildable.
I think the point to that is, the state's target, I think, was 21%, and we're over that. For not that we don't want to protect more open space, but we are over what what the target is for most towns. So,
Right.
But maybe we should make the language a little clearer.
yeah.
If it isn't clear to you guys, should we put a statement in here?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of go back and forth on this type of thing as well, because,
Yeah,
on one hand, you can say that some of the more valuable conservation land is located in areas that maybe aren't well suited for affordable housing because they're not,
Or any
near
kind of
transportation
housing,
hubs.
yeah.
Right, they're out far enough away that it's not the ideal, but at the same time, you don't want to also exclude, open space that it's, accessible to residents as well. So I always like, it's a little bit of, I'm not sure if I can make a blanket statement in there about, the fact that most, preferred open space would be kind of away from areas
Right.
that might be prioritized for affordable housing. But maybe just even a simple recognition of the fact that these aren't at odds, and that, like you were saying, some of this land is already kind of not open for development anyway. Just being a little bit more clear about that.
I think so, because we've also got state parks there and we've got the development of the Torrington Trail Network. So, we can certainly justify the open space and make it an attraction, actually.
Those are, I was gonna say, those are important to have near
Right.
a housing development. The other thing, and I think it kind of piggybacks on Nate's point, is we're in the middle of reviewing our open space properties. And we're actually thinking about what to do with some of the less valuable pieces in terms of, like, they're not very important
yeah,
ecologically or whatever. So we may be in a position to market some of them that are closer to downtown. They're not very big, but
No,
no, but maybe they'd be good for first-time home buyers.
mhm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so
that's what we're looking at in Winchester too, is.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
have an open space account, so we put that, we put proceeds in that account to purchase, say, a more, valuable piece of open space land down the line. But we are
Right.
looking at some parcels that don't have a lot of worth for conservation purposes.
Yeah, well, and again, I'm not even thinking necessarily, and you probably aren't either, that
No,
those properties would have to be donated, but if they were sold, but the priority for them, like if there was an RFP or something and the priority
Yeah.
was first-time home buyers,
Yep.
then we could get grant money, say, for Torrington Affordable Housing or somebody else to acquire those. And then the money, like you're saying, could go into the open space fund to
Yeah.
preserve.
Right.
And we have some control over that, so that's just something else to think about.
Right, yeah, anytime you have control over land.
Yeah, well, and what it, what it might be used for if we transfer it.
Right. All right, I'll try to draft something that makes that a little clearer. And yeah, if you guys can get me whatever map you'd be comfortable with having in here, and I'm happy to, put a caveat on it that you're working on it or whatever.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
And
Jeremy, you comfortable with that? Minus the Torrington Water Company lands. I don't, he doesn't have to break it out even by class. It can just be
No.
a green color. And at this scale, it seems pretty safe.
Yeah, and he was already working on one, so you could just remind him it's the map that I was working with him on.
Okay.
Well, it was it was specifically for sustainable CT, but we were going to use it as our open space map anyway.
Okay.
And also psychologically, it's reassuring to people that we're not trying to use up all our valuable land
Mhm.
for housing. You know, because of this, some people who question what you're doing with affordable housing, to have that reassurance that we have this open space that's protected. It's important.
Right. Okay. So let me just come back up here to the beginning. Somebody's phone's going crazy.
Not me.
Let's see. So the timeline we did want to talk about, and obviously, all the stuff in red here is the proposed things that haven't happened yet. So I do think we could meet with planning and zoning either in July or August, maybe. I don't know if we want to talk about that now, about the best plan.
Well, I think either would work, but what we can make either work. I think right now August is a lighter agenda, just because it's 2 months out.
Yeah.
But we have added a couple of things there already.
Yeah. So we need to get in there so that we can be a priority on that one, and then they can maybe push other things back to September.
Yeah.
Do you think it's critically important that Greg be there?
No, especially if he can weigh in, he can weigh in with written comments or an email or something.
Yeah.
If he has comments ahead of time.
When is your August meeting?
August 24th. For some reason, I don't know why it's the 4th Wednesday of that month. It's usually the 3rd.
Vacations, probably.
Probably. Are we running? We're not running into a holiday or anything, so it's weird.
And of course, I might have another meeting that night.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it primary week or the week before or something? Sometimes they work around election when we need the room for elections. Maybe. I know our primary week's in August at some point.
So I'm going to need to look into that because I think I have to be at another planning and zoning commission meeting that night.
Okay.
Maybe we could do a special meeting. Is that possible?
I know Jeremy said that most people like extra meetings in August. Volunteers especially.
Yeah, they love them when they got to work around their vacation.
Again, we have a little bit of time, technically we have until, I think we said, did we say November 1st or November 15th?
I think you said the 1st.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering. Is the first.
There's no, we gave them that date. So if it was November, if it got pushed to the city council meeting in November, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but
we can still squeeze it in July. I mean, we can make that work if it's, I just don't want to put it on the regular agenda, but the commission, I think, would be fine doing it at 6. That would give us.
Yeah, my only concern about that is having no idea whether the mayor even looked at it.
Okay.
And whether she's going to have any concerns about it.
We can, because that's only the week before.
But maybe, why don't I talk to Rista too? I just want to get her feedback as well.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try to get a call into her this week or next week and get back to you, Jeremy.
I'll probably see her in the morning so I can write myself a note to.
Yeah, see if she's had a chance to look at it and has any. I just don't want to, put it out there with
without
something.
their, yeah,
without their input.
yep.
Yeah, and when we do it, this is a presentation to P and Z. This isn't a public hearing, correct?
No,
Well,
because I think they have to, I think it'd be good for them to endorse it, but it's the city council.
Oh, I know that. No, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about having it at 6 if they have other things on their agenda, and I'm thinking about the public who might want to attend that. So I don't know if there's time for question and answer or whatever, if we have to do
I
that,
mean,
or is it just presenting to planning and zoning, we do something else later?
I don't know, what do you think?
I
have a
just,
dark
um,
light turned off. There we
I
go.
mean, what I was thinking is that we would, and I think we went back and forth on this a little bit at the last meeting. I think that it would make sense, like, so this says that we would,
Yeah, public feedback.
get public feedback at that planning zoning commission meeting.
That's what I'm thinking.
We can, yeah, I mean, we don't know if we want to do it in July, but we could post that as a special P and Z meeting for 6. There's nothing wrong with doing that, a special P and Z public hearing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a public hearing. I mean, their meetings are open to the public.
But they're not
Right.
they're not open for comment unless we,
Well, could you, but it could be a special meeting where you allow public comment,
Right after the presentation.
right? Or no?
We-
I kind of
don't
feel,
wanna-
I think we have to post it like we would a public hearing if we're gonna do that.
Okay, yeah, whatever
Yeah.
you,
It doesn't really, either way, it's not,
I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, as much as we might like to hear back from people and have them come out,
there's
probably
gonna be
not very
like
many
2 people that
people.
show up.
Yeah, probably not very many people will.
Yeah,
But I do think it's better to have invited people and have them not show up than
Than to not
invite
them.
them.
Yeah, it's
Um,
much better because then people are hurt. Well, they didn't include the public and we don't get to say anything. I think we do the presentation and we have the questions from the P and Z commission. You know, they'll probably have a number of questions and then we can open it up to the public for some
I mean,
feedback.
that's what we do during public hearings anyway. It always
Exactly,
goes to the commission first, then to the public.
exactly. Yeah,
Claudia's here.
yay.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, even if July's a squeeze, we'd probably operate the same way. Whatever meeting we do it, we decide to do it in.
Okay. So yeah, so whether we do it in July or August, it's meeting with P and Z, allowing, comments and feedback.
Mhm.
And
Right.
then posting the final draft plan on the city's website for 35 days before whatever city council meeting this goes to for adoption.
That works. That works.
And it could be September, it could be October. Ideally, it would be September or October.
Yep.
All right. Hi, Claudia. All right, so that was in red because of that. And I'm gonna scroll down.
So, yeah, I mean, I did already ask this, but Rista, you did send it to Rista and the mayor.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so,
Yeah, I mean, I specifically sent it to them and asked them whether there was any chance they could join us today, but obviously the mayor can't. But I didn't hear back from them.
right, yeah, and like I said, I didn't mention the review, I just was talking about possible dates and I didn't get an answer anyway.
Okay. Claudia, this was a comment from Claudia about the waiting list for rental assistance. So Claudia, don't people call Section 8 the Housing Choice Voucher Program, or am I getting that? It's the same thing, right? You're
you're
muted.
muted.
Claudia, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
Okay, okay.
There you
Yes, it is the same, but Section 8 is kind of the more well-known term.
I know,
But
but that's what
housing-
I'm trying to get around.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Okay. I just feel like there's so many misperceptions about what Section 8 is.
Absolutely.
And I
Okay.
think, but if you want me to say Section 8,
I don't care. I wanted to point that out. You could even take the housing choice voucher thing out. Rental assistance is good enough.
okay. And speaking of that, go ahead, Claudia.
No, you asked me if I had 7 units instead of 4
Right.
for Torrington Community Housing. I do, but the other 3 units aren't subsidized the property. I
Okay.
only use it for tenant-based, Section 8. So I don't know if you want to.
So only 4 of them are dedicated affordable?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe on this, I should put, on this inventory then in the back.
Well, 4 plus 13, there's 17.
For Torrington Community Housing Corp?
Yeah, I have Valley
Oh,
Park,
you,
13.
right, this,
yeah,
that's up here, yeah,
and Torrington Housing Community, you probably should leave it at 4
okay,
and take off the 3 units 1974 then,
okay.
if you want to do it that way.
Because those aren't deed restricted or,
They aren't deed restricted now.
okay. I think that makes sense. Do these 4 units have a name? A project
No.
name?
No,
Okay,
I just bought 2 family homes and rehabbed them. So they're in, regular neighborhoods.
okay,
Actually, we just drove around and found some that were really needed help.
great, that's great. All right, let's see. I think, okay, so now we're to the GIS analysis piece. So this is in the zoning assessment section. Again, I was just trying to give a very brief, super brief overview of the residential uses that your many page zoning regulations allow.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about your multifamily residents and where those are allowed. And Jeremy asked for a analysis for us on the parcels in the R15, R25, and R40 that are 8 acres. I was just curious how many there were that could potentially be built on. And
I'm going to screen share that. Oh, you have it. Do you have it?
yeah, I can screen share, I think, for what it's worth, because you won't really be able to see here. So I can send this around to people if they want it, but again, I was just trying to get a sense for how many 8-acre parcels are there out there that could accommodate multifamily housing in theory. And so this is obviously all of Torrington, and the parcels over 8 acres are, in bold here. And
Yeah.
then we do have, I can show you, we do also have the spreadsheet that shows all of the parcels that are over 8 acres within those zones. This is my highlighting. What I highlighted here was how many parcels are actually not yet built on and are not heritage land preservation.
Yeah.
So that's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, basically 12 parcels. One of which is the city of Torrington parcel that's 107 acres on Riverside Ave. What is that?
That's the Bessie Park,
Okay, so that's not gonna get,
Charlene Bessie Park.
that's not gonna
Right.
get
Oh,
huge.
oh.
And isn't part of the Klug property sold now? Or I could be wrong.
Which one?
The Klug property up back Midway. It seems like I saw something about a Klug property sale or a potential sale or something. I don't remember where though.
Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Is that,
Not as far as I know.
that's farmland?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
farmland right now.
So anyway, I just think it's interesting that 1, 2, 3,
Or forested, you know, one of the two.
Yeah.
there's about 12 parcels that are not built on and that are not preserved.
Mhm.
Do you think that's interesting or no?
Well, some of these, you know, honestly, some of these have just like a single family house on them too, so doesn't preclude
Yeah.
them, I guess, from being split.
Right.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
It just seems like that doesn't happen as often.
no, but
But you're right. It's not impossible.
Right.
Um,
for the right offer from a developer.
yeah.
And the right
Um,
circumstances.
So is it worth including, I'm not saying we should include this map or this list, but is it worth putting anything?
Well, you did leave out that TDF parcel. That's the one that we actually got denied for multifamily.
Oh, really? The 37 acres,
Yeah,
How many acres?
37? Why did it get denied?
it's neighbors came out and it was before they changed the law on how you could talk about community character or neighborhood character, because so that's actually what they denied it based on.
How many units were they proposing?
It was 2 buildings. I think it was 60 units total, around 60 units.
And where is this?
It's off of Notting Hill Gate in Greenbrier.
Oh,
That was
Yeah, that
probably
was
probably a year and a half ago that it got denied.
right. That was a big thing. It was also environmental. They cited a lot of environmental issues there.
Yeah, those were kind of bogus, but I mean, in the end, but it was community character was why they denied it.
Right. But right after that, we had that big storm last year that caused a lot of water to rush down the hill and reinforced a couple of people who called me. I was like, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, is it worth putting anything in here about like, I mean, I could just say the number of parcels that are not preserved that are over 8 acres. Or do you feel like that's not a useful?
I
Oh, I
that's
think
a
it's
good
useful.
add.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an important fact, without going into
It
detail,
is.
that we still have property that's developable.
I wonder if even putting the total acreage of all those parcels would be useful too. If it say it's 150 acres of developable land or something.
Right, right.
Probably more than that,
And you think we should include all parcels, even those that have a single family house on them now?
but yeah, that's a good question.
I think you're gonna get a lot of pushback.
Yeah, we're gonna probably anger those landowners if we do that, if they know it's their properties, but
I was just gonna say, can we just do the number of acres and not define where those properties are?
Oh, I wasn't thinking, again, I wasn't thinking we put in this list
Oh,
or this
okay.
map at all.
Yeah,
That's
Just
fine.
in this
Yeah.
section here where we say an analysis of these parcels showed that there were this many parcels in these zones. I just didn't know if you wanted me to include parcels that do already have a house on them, or if we just want to say this many, you know, parcels that are not currently built
Oh.
on and that are not currently
well,
preserved.
I guess in the end, we're talking about possibilities, not things that are going to get built.
right.
But yeah, I guess so.
Potential and available acreage for potential growth. It's you know, it's generic enough, but it also lets people know that we do have property.
I mean, obviously heritage, it's not possible. But-
No.
so,
Okay. Okay.
or maybe some other, some other parcels, it's just not possible. So a couple of, were there some city-owned parcels in there?
Yeah, well, just that one, the park.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna include that one.
Yeah.
Can you bring up the list one more time?
Yeah, sorry.
There was some other ones. I just wanted to look at it real quick. So, yeah, well, Silicon Ranch is good. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's gonna have solar panels on it.
Where's that?
That's
Oh, yeah.
almost, yeah. Yeah, I guess that was it. I just wanted to take a look.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, so that is that.
Oh. One other one I can check. Hang on a second.
Lottie, I did make the other edits that you had asked for.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and
thank-
I suppose that, someone could always come in with a zone change, but multifamily is not allowed in WP. Oh, actually, you can't come in for a zone change in WP. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's the country club, so that's not gonna.
Well,
hit.
yeah, and there's another one down towards the bottom, 119 acres,
Okay,
watershed protection zone.
right.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, there's another one down there too. That one's 8 acres.
I'm just gonna delete it from my version.
Oh, that one. Okay. The only thing I'm worried about is if somebody asks for a list of where did you get that number from? You know what I'm saying?
That
Yeah.
means they read our plan and they get a gold star.
Yeah,
Okay. You want as least resistance. I always I try to fly under the radar at all times.
It's a smart way.
All right. So I think that is all I wanted to make sure we talked about. I'm gonna stop sharing this.
so that Eugene Green calls
Yeah.
probably 2 or 3 times a year. He's about 95 years old.
Yeah.
And he always wants to develop his properties for housing or any kind of housing. And
Yeah.
he does not want to do septics, and he can't get sewers, but he'll argue with us all day long.
Interesting.
Why
I
can't
wonder
it
if this
get
is the
sewer?
same. I wonder, there's a Gene Green that was really against the Housatonic River Wild and Scenic designation.
Oh, he's
Um,
I don't know. He's very old.
yeah, he was a very old guy and very
He's like
against
94 or something. Yeah.
God bless them. And why
Just
can't it get sewer?
It's outside of the sewer service area, and they're not extending outside. So he does not want to do septic systems. Well, I don't know what to tell you. But he calls like 2 or 3 times a year, like clockwork.
interesting.
At least he's alert and inquisitive.
Yeah. God bless them.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. So with the edits that we talked about today, you guys are comfortable with this going out there as our draft plan?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a couple other things you had marked, like the implementation section.
Yeah, well, I just wasn't sure if you wanted, like, if you thought it would be helpful to have,
I like them in plans personally, because it gives me some guidance instead of sticking it on a shelf.
Yeah, I agree.
you mean the implementation table?
Yeah, or just, right. I look at it as more of an action plan.
Do you want to assign priorities or timetables to any of these strategies?
I mean, we're only on we're on a 5-year cycle anyway, right? So there's not a lot of long-term planning.
Right,
So,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah, yeah,
Because somebody was saying to me the other day on another town's plan, they're like, these aren't smart strategies because they don't have a specific timeline for completion and a specific measurable goal.
yeah.
And I was like, well, we also don't have a lot of resources. So,
Right.
Yeah, ask some aspirational goals.
I mean, again, I think, yeah, you could stick some measurable goals in here. I
Yeah.
just think,
What do
You
we
know,
want to
again-
get done in a 5-year period? Or what can we get done in a 5-year period?
right. So,
Yeah.
but I can take out the individual tables and stick them all together so they're on one page. But do you also want us to assign some priorities?
I think so, especially things we can do in the short term.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of, obviously, when we have to update this in 5 years, there's going to be a bunch of carryover.
Well, and if we update it, what I did it in my school library was I had a 5-year plan, but I updated it every year so that I still had a 5-year plan ongoing,
Mhm.
but I could take off something that I'd done in the short term.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like our
something housing authority
POCD,
does it.
if something's important, we can open it up at any point.
Yep.
Yeah, you can. That's exactly what the housing authority does.
Yeah.
So
And that way you
Claudia-
show progress as well.
Yeah,
Claudia, can I ask you a quick question? So it looks like Laura Watson from the Department of Housing's obviously sent you the government assisted units for the city of Torrington to edit.
yes.
Do you
She
think
does
she
every year.
also sends it to anyone else, or does she in Torrington?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've been getting it for so long and I don't see anybody else on the email.
I mean, is she expecting you to edit it for all the properties?
I'm assuming the answer to that is yes, because I don't see, unless she does a separate email for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I've kind of always kept track. I double checked it against what we had in your plan. And
Yeah.
as far as I know, that's it, you know, so.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious. Because I just find it interesting how the State Department of Housing relies on like one person. I mean, you're in a better position, but one person in each town to verify these lists.
I think they
And-
would have sent it to the mayor's office, you
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always comply and send it back in and
Yeah.
I do it right away before I forget about it. And that's
Okay.
it. And it was for
Um,
last year. It's for the year, yeah, the year ending June 2022. So it was for last year. If you read in the letter, the year that they're looking for info for was last year. Nothing that's coming up, nothing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So should we go back to the beginning of our agenda now that Claudia's here and approve minutes?
Sure.
Sure.
So we'll do the April. We have April and May, right?
We have amended March minutes too.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to?
I move that we approve the amended March minutes and the May. Is it May and June or just May?
April and May.
April and May.
April and May, I'm sorry, minutes.
That's okay. I'll second.
So if you guys move that, can I still make a brief edit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and move it then.
I think we got a second. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Which ones are we looking at?
So in the April minutes, I just want to note, this is on page 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs down. It says Miss Air has met with Mayor Carbone regarding the Torrington Affordable Housing Association. Maybe it should just be Torrington Affordable Housing Inc. or
Okay.
Yeah.
just delete association.
Yeah,
And then on the May minutes, it says on page 2, almost all the way down at the bottom, it says Miss Air is working with Mayor Carbone to recruit Torrington Housing Authority board members. That is not true.
Torrington Affordable Housing.
Yeah. You know,
I mean,
I
if it is true at all, it's not for my board.
yeah,
Well,
it's not,
yeah,
it's not really true, so.
So this
So
would have come
delete-
off, it would have come off the recording, so maybe.
Well,
she-
we were definitely talking about Torrington Affordable Housing, not Torrington Housing Authority.
Okay,
Although I get phone calls every day for them.
Right. So I don't think I said this to get up to date on the definition of affordable housing.
okay.
So
All right, I can have her go back and re-listen too, but I took some notes.
I would just say, it should say Torrington Affordable Housing instead of Torrington Housing Authority. And
Yep.
I would just put a period after to move forward. Instead of, I don't think I said get up to date on the definition of affordable housing.
Okay,
So just delete that.
all right.
Those are my 2 brief.
All right. I amend my motion to include those changes to the minutes.
And I will second.
Aye.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes approved.
All right, that catches us up on the minutes. That was a lot.
That's big. That is big.
We were like 4 months behind at one point, I think.
Yeah, I'm
3
just
months
so
at least.
grateful for her for doing them because it saves a lot of time.
Sometimes I yell out from my office and she has her earphones on. I'm like, am I talking to the empty chair again? I think I am.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we talked briefly about next steps. So I think I'm gonna try to get Rista this week and see how she's feeling about it. And whether we should go ahead with the July P&Z meeting or whether we should try to do it in August.
So that depends on the mayor's responses, right?
Yeah, I think so. I just want to see if Rista happens to know whether the mayor took a brief look at it.
Okay, yeah, and we didn't have our Monday, obviously, any meetings with her this week, so I don't know.
Yeah. And all right, so I'll circle back with you all after we figure that out. But I think what we would do, and I'm happy to do this, or with any of you who want to be there, want to present, just like briefly, we would get them the draft plan ahead of time, at least a week in advance.
Right.
If it's in August, we can get it to them many weeks in advance.
Mhm.
And then just briefly review what's in it and then get questions and feedback.
Mhm. Yep.
And I do think what I will plan to do, again, once we have that final draft, is also send it to a few specific folks, or maybe you could, Jeremy, we could talk about who wants to do it, but just make sure that obviously P&Z should get it.
Yeah.
I think EDC should get it,
Mhm.
just as a courtesy. I think the Blight Task Force members should get it as a courtesy.
Yep.
Um,
Well, and that's good because the Blight Task Force is mostly supervisory people, so they can filter it down if anybody in
Yeah.
their departments wants to see it.
I mean, obviously it'll be on the website, but we just want
Yeah.
to make sure that they know it's there, that they
Mhm.
can review
Yeah.
it.
So that means
And
the health district gets it too.
Yeah, and ask Krista if she thinks Torrington Development Corp should get it.
Okay.
Right. And obviously any of you can forward it to anybody you think should really look at it. Or, should be invited to look at it.
I'd be
Great.
happy to go to the mayor's office with you if you want me to go when you present it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna present it specifically to the mayor.
Oh, all right. I thought you were going specifically there.
No, I'm hoping she'll just look at it.
Okay, no problem.
And
But-
it's eventually got to make it to council. So
Yeah, and Claudia, I don't know if you were in the meeting yet, but the mayor is on vacation for 2 weeks right now.
Okay.
this weekend, next week.
Can I just say one thing? I think it might be in our interest to try to make a 10-minute appointment to give it to the mayor, to go over the highlights, 1, 2, 3, only because from what I've seen at city council meetings, there's a lot of pushback in Torrington to anything progressive. So I just think maybe having her more aware of whatever, it would be good.
Yeah, and that's
Just
why
my
I want,
thought.
no,
I mean,
think
I have no problem doing it by myself. I just, rather than having it just be an agenda item that, she's
yeah,
busy. She's not gonna go through the whole thing. Just 1, 2, 3, get the whole thing so she gets the basic idea. So when the meeting comes up, she's on top.
So the one good thing is I do have a standing meeting with her every Monday morning at 10 a.m.
Can you do that? That would be
Yeah.
great. Okay.
Yeah. So this is whenever I have anything,
Okay.
I bring it with me.
I think
It's-
that's
it's-
perfect. I just
it's-
don't want to blindside her.
Yeah, and it's actually me and Rista and the mayor. The three of us meet
Yeah.
every Monday morning.
I just don't want to blindside her.
Mhm.
It's too
Jeremy,
big.
do you think you guys will have that meeting on the 11th on the
We
day?
will have it on the 11th. Obviously not this week or next week, as far
Well,
as
let
I
me
know,
if
unless
you-
something
Let me
changes.
know if you want me to come.
Okay.
Um,
Or you can even do that through Zoom. We could just call you in from the mayor's office.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Claudia. We want to, and that's kind of why I was uncomfortable with maybe presenting
Right.
this in July to P and Z.
Yeah, I could
Before-
understand that. I mean, I just,
Well, and then if we do, Jocelyn, if we do it at that Monday meeting, you have a captive audience there for Rista and the mayor.
Yeah, that
Right.
would be good. Because I know it's hard to fit in anything else.
Yeah, and that's why that's when I get everything that I need done with the
Yeah.
mayor is in those meetings. So
okay.
I think
Um,
that's excellent.
Okay. So technically, the next meeting of this group would be July 26th, but unless you guys want to meet again before I guess, why don't we play that one by ear? Because if we're gonna meet with P and Z in August, I don't think we need that meeting unless you guys really want to have a meeting to prepare for the planning and zoning.
yeah,
So, anyway, the regularly scheduled meeting is July 26th, but we might not need it.
Okay.
So I'll keep you guys posted on that.
Okay.
Unless you want to meet. If you want to meet, I will meet with you. I know
I think
people like to have
Um,
meetings, but
I think we're really good.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think,
all right. Anything else you guys want to touch base on?
Can't think of anything.
I think I'm good.
All
I
right.
just want everybody to be prepared because, you know that project that was right down on, I think it was the corner of Church and Midgeon,
Yep.
those apartments that got turned down. And it wasn't affordable housing. It was like market rate housing.
You talking
But
about the Waters Way project?
Waterway, yeah.
Yeah, that one's still going forward.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just working on financing and everything else they got to do
Thank
behind
God.
the
Thank
scenes.
God. Okay.
Yeah,
The
They
one,
just
the
gave
one,
them-
yeah, the one up at Greenbrier got turned down.
Yeah. But the reason I bring that up is because to me, and I work in downtown, a lot of my projects are in downtown. What could be better for downtown?
Mhm.
Okay, and the fact that it got such pushback at that meeting, I think we have to be a little prepared. That wasn't even an affordable housing
You're
project.
talking about the council meeting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think what happened,
that's all
because I
I'm
was,
saying. I just want everybody to be, you
yeah.
know, prepared
Hey.
for whatever.
And I
Yeah,
have to say that I was there and I asked some questions. My concern was not the project, but it was lacking details. So I wanted to find out more about it. I mean, at that time, they weren't sure if it was market value or not. And
Yeah.
then with the amenities, I was just asking because I'd had some young people ask me, do they have to pay for those extra amenities? So I think that was misunderstood, but I know that they were going back to the drawing board to work on some things. So we should have better information going
Yeah.
forward.
Okay.
And to
I
be
hope
honest,
so.
even for us, we just got concept plans.
Right,
It was,
exactly.
yeah, so
Yeah, we had
Well, when
40 pages, beautiful pages of concept plans that included a pet washing station and a swimming pool. So it's hard to tell
Yeah.
exactly how that was going forward.
yeah,
But Claudia, to your point, again, I guess back more specifically to this plan and when it goes to city council for adoption, I think it makes a lot of sense, like you're suggesting, that we have a meeting with the mayor to plan for and think about how do we present this at the city council
Exactly.
meeting and make
Right.
sure that we're prepared for the kinds of questions that we think might come up.
That's all I'm saying. It's just,
Totally.
it
Yeah.
can be,
So
it can be brutal. That's
So
all.
let's definitely have one more meeting before that city council meeting to prepare for that meeting at which this
Right.
plan will be adopted.
Yeah,
Okay.
But that would be, again, the earliest that would be is September, so we could meet in August, but it might be October.
Okay. Well, what the other thing I think that all us, the members, should think about is questions that you think are going to come up,
Right.
and so we can develop a plan.
develop
to answer
answers. Right. I agree. The better prepared you are, the
Yeah.
smoother it will go.
Exactly. I mean, people are pretty vocal, which to their credit, okay, in Torrington, people show up to those meetings and they're involved and they're, vocal. And I love that rather than just having nobody show and you just. do
Right.
it.
Right.
But vocal means that you're going to need a lot of information to give those people because they're genuinely interested. I'll say one thing for Torrington. I have never seen a town in my entire life. I've worked in a lot of different places. As the people that live there are so pro Torrington. They love their city. I see
They
it
do.
on my board. I've never seen people love a place like the people in Torrington love their city. And kudos for that. I love that. But by the same token, that means that any change may get, scrutinized a little bit more or, just because it's different, it may be a
Yeah.
little, pushback.
Well, and
So
that's
all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Claudia, because from my experience with council and meeting with people, especially at the senior center, you so pro Torrington and other people as well. But change is difficult when things have been going along a certain way. It's hard to do that. So I think most people realize we need more housing, and I think we are positive, in our approach. And I think we can do this. But as you said, if we're prepared with some answers, that will be half the battle.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
great,
Thank
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 you.
you.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah, you
Bye-bye.
too. Good night.